What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Colin Doesn't Know What the Hell He's Doing. This is going to be a quick update video for everything I'm doing in the shop because there's a lot going on. I need to get some stuff done on the dually, which is why this is an update, not very riveting content, because I'm trying to figure stuff out here. So let's jump into it. Okay, so firstly, the dually runs fine. Everything's good with it as far as that goes. It's the transmission wiring itself. I screwed something up the other day, and I pulled the plug out of the main harness because we were trying to do some wiring, trying to fix some stuff. It was leaking out of the main harness plug in the 4L80. So what I was trying to do is replace all the internal components. I replaced the pressure solenoid and the torque converter solenoid too. I replaced both of those with the internal wiring harness. Everything inside the transmission should be good, but it's not wanting to shift, and I think it is due to the fact when I pulled that plug out, it pulled all the wires out with it. So the plug itself, the plastic bit, has all the wires coming out of it, and when I pulled on it, it pulled all the wires out of that plastic plug. So today, I'm fixing that. I have information, I have technology knowledge right here. From Phytech to help me. They sent me over the 4L80 pin and some other stuff. I was like messaging with them and like, I need help. So here's my help. So I'm going to go through all this and try to figure out what I'd messed up and what plugs I think I have wrong, which if you look at here, I need to get the plug out, but brown is white technically now. So I think that's probably where I messed up. So I just have to kind of go through the way this plug is written, do that, but I need to pull it out from down there. I need to cut some zip ties and get it out from underneath and have it sitting like right here when I do it all. In other news, the Cougar's 302 is already out. We figured out why it was making clunky noises during Sick Smokies. We figured that out. I'll show that in a second. And the Nova's 350 needs to come out because there's a lot of stuff that's going on with the 350, and I don't know how much we're actually going to do to the Cougar, but that is the issue with the Cougar. Right there. There's a little thing called SFI. It prevents this. So when you had it on the car itself, I'll show that video real quick. You can see where it's broken right there.
All the way around.
Somehow, the flywheel broke and still managed to keep itself kind of together.
Because it's built Ford tough.
Yeah, it was making that sound, and that is the exact same sound it was making during Sick Smokies. When we were driving, you hear a clunk, 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 all the time. And it was like, huh, that sounds like exhaust leak or something like that. And then it turned into, that sounds like metal. That's not good. So I think literally the way it broke, I think the bolts that hold this actually on was just tight enough to probably keep it from like yeeting itself or spinning horrendously or anything like that. It also kind of keyed itself, which I've never seen that before. I've never seen a flex plate ever do this, but you can see it was starting to star out. So if we ran it too much longer, not good things was going to happen. So we need to SFI one of these guys, put it back on there. We may pull the engine apart just to look at it, make sure cylinders aren't washed or anything, because that thing was really, really rich when we were racing, so we might mess with that. But otherwise, it is good to go, ready to go back in. As far as this guy, you saw a spark plug stay on that desk, and that is because this thing needs some love. I think the 350 is about time for parts. It might need bearing. I'm sure it needs bearings and stuff in the bottom end. If I haven't told you before, or if you haven't seen kind of what the 350 is in this Nova, it's literally a stock 4-bolt main bottom end. There's literally not even, it's factory rod bolts even. Like, it's stock, has stock pistons. Nothing's been balanced ever. It's literally a 72 Chevy truck motor that we put in, and it has a roller cam and heads. And it runs 1250s the way this car's set up, which is really good. But finally, after probably 100,000 miles, this thing probably has close to 1,000 passes on that bottom end. It's starting to shoot out a little bit of smoke out at least the passenger side. It could have been both sides, and just the way the kind of the smoke and everything came out of the back of Yeah, it's smoking a little bit, and I can see why. By looking at spark plugs, you can tell. It's very unhappy. So, I have already ordered a set of cylinder heads, because one, I'm borrowing these heads that are on the car right now, the other blocks I'm borrowing. So they get to come off. I sold my old Blueprint Pro comps that I had. I sold those guys, and Pro Max had 15% off, so there will be some new things coming very soon that you'll see coming up. But yeah, so we got to pull the engine out, check it all over, look at everything, see what went wrong as far as the bottom end. I am crossing my fingers right now and hoping we don't have to bore it or do any machine work like that. I may end up doing that kind of stuff if, like, it's kind of hard to imagine it doesn't need to be got like 10 over or 20 over just to clean everything up. But it might not have to. That engine's been ridiculously good over the course of its life, so maybe it just needs a line hone and we can put pistons in it and we can run it. The perfect scenario for this is we can dingle ball hone it, put rings in it. I'm going to pull the bottom end out of it. I have a set of rods. I'm going to buy a set of pistons. We're going to put it all on that cast crank. We're going to balance everything, and we're going to run it. And everyone now is like, well, you shouldn't do a cast crank. You shouldn't do that. You should buy something. That crank has been around in that engine for a very long time, and it's obviously not bad. So as long as there's no big scarring on the crank or anything like that, it's honestly good. I'm not turning it to 7,000 RPM. We're turning it to 6,500. It's a 4-bolt bottom end. If it's all balanced, it's all good. It's all happy. It should be totally fine for a very long time. And when I say we're turning it to 6,500, it's 6,500 shift. And then it rolls like $5,000 and then it rolls back up. So it's literally seeing 6,500 like for 4 seconds at a time. It's not very long. It's not like it's seeing $7,000. It's not like it's seeing 7,200 or 6,800 even. It's 65. So, it should be totally fine as far as that goes. I could get a cast crank, like a scat cast crank or something like that, but the reality is, like, it's not much different than what I have already. So, we'll balance this one. We'll get good bolts. We'll get all that stuff. In a perfect world, when we just have to line hone it or like dingle ball hone it and send it, kind of a thing. Worst case scenario, we have to do machine work. We have to kind of do some stuff to it and kind of go from there and see what needs to actually happen to it, and then we kind of make decisions based on that. But at the very least, it's getting a set of pistons and new set of cylinder heads, and we're going to balance everything over to where it's all nice and good again. Everything should be happy then. But I'm hoping when we do all that, the bottom end will be good for years to come, and we don't have to worry about it, and it's good for another 1,000 passes at least, if not more. So that's kind of the goal with the Nova this next little bit, but we got to pull that engine out, so you're going to see that in a new video. I got to work on this thing, so I might show this in that video, some of my nefarious stuff, so I'm going to jump into this. But yeah, that's kind of where the Nova's at right now. Everything else is totally good with it. We need to do a few little tweaks and stuff like that, and I'll show you. Like, we need to put a baffle in the fuel, that guy right there, because it was actually dumping fuel at the driver's. It was actually dumping fuel at the gas filler neck when we were going on Tail of the Dragon and stuff, because I had a full tank, and doing this, it was like sloshing out. And so we got to fix that, because that's wasting money. That's very wasteful. So we got to do that and do just a few little things like that. But with that being said, I'm going to jump into this thing and let's get into it. Alright, so I think I figured out what was kind of going on. I think honestly the biggest deal, I had it probably wired in correctly. But these wires are so loose in this connector. They literally just they wiggle out. So if I did even try to pull this guy in to seal it all up, they want to just come out. So what I ended up doing is I pressed them all in, and then I sealed them all in. So now I'm letting that dry with the sealer, and then hopefully I can put that in and nothing moves around and does anything stupid. So fingers crossed, we'll let that dry, and hopefully here in a little bit we'll actually be able to mess with it. So hopefully it's all fixed and just the wires just kind of back out. Now, I should buy another one of those plugs, and they're like $5, but this is proof of concept, so. Okay, so I didn't film because I was honestly just like, I'm going to see if this works. And I honestly forgot to film. Anyway, started the dually up. You know, there's no codes. It's not throwing anything now. So I'm thinking what happened was when I was trying to do all that stuff, I had it right when I had the plug in. But what was happening is I was, throwing the proverbial hot dog down the hallway, and that plug itself, the wires that go into it where they're supposed to snap in, they're not snapping in. So when you would plug it in, it would just push that guy out and basically cause it to where it wasn't actually working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to order a new plug, that new wire, because it's not hardwired into, as you can see, I had it out of the car. But what I did is I literally super glued all those wires in to where they connect into on that plug, and knock on wood, it's working. So I'm gonna zip tie everything up, get it all nice and clean down there, make sure it's all good, and then we're gonna go drive it and see what's going on. But fingers crossed, it's actually working. Look at this now, it's working. It shifts. Before it wouldn't shift at all. I might have had like second, it might have just been stuck in second or something. But now, I'm cruising at 45 in overdrive. This is badass. I am so happy right now. Look at this. We're cruising again. In the dually. Woohoo! 1800 RPM. This is the life. The 480s aren't that scary. Get you a 480. They're good. Alright, now onto the Nova. Bammo. So, one note. The dually did just try to kill me. It's been sitting for a minute, and the throttle, so the linkage on an FI Tech system, they just have a spring internally in them, and the truck's been sitting for months. Like, it's been sitting for a long time. I drove and I jumped on it, and that spring, I think there was something hung up, like this one spark plug wires or something, because I've been messing with all that stuff. So a combination of like either the spring not being fully sprung yet, or like there was a little bit of like rust in the contacts or something like that, and something being in the line, it hung the throttle up at like 3/4 throttle, so it was wanting to roll like 4,500 RPM, $5,000, and I couldn't really stop it, so I had to shut the truck off and put it in neutral. Yeah, that was fun. Hydro boost is not good when you don't have throttle, or you don't have like vacuum to help you, or spinny boy to help you. And yeah, so I fixed it though. Now it has an extra spring in case anything stupid like that happens, because the truck does sit outside because there's really nowhere for it to be inside. So yeah, now I'm gonna go get gas in it, and then we're gonna go work on the Nova. So all right, so now the dually's together and running, and actually runs good, I put gas in it and went on the freeway and drove 75 miles an hour, and it was all good. It needs new tires at some point. Everything needs tires. Like every 6 months it seems like something needs tires. Never-ending process when you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vehicles. We have 5 vehicles that I maintain. It's always something. Anyway, with that, I think I'm going to end this video off right here, because I'm going to work on pulling the engine out, and then I'll be in the next video. So, that being said, thank you guys for watching this. I really appreciate it. Hope if you needed education on something small like the wiring issues on that, I don't know if I helped you at all, but hope this helped. And I will see you guys in the next one. Be sure to like and subscribe, follow along, keep rolling on with everything you're doing. We'll keep rolling on with this. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving weekend, and I will see you guys then. Thanks.